There's a gap in our youth when it comes to face-to-face communication. If we don't address this now, we risk a generation that can text but can't talk, that can comment but can't connect. The future depends on bridging this gap, ensuring that our youth doesn't just grow up with knowledge, but with interpersonal skills to truly thrive. Our youth is the next generation of leaders, innovators, and change makers. We need them to be equipped with skills to communicate and connect. Like Johnny, who is someone I've worked with. He is 13 and is in 7th grade. When he walked into school, no one acknowledged him. As he would go to his locker, listening to the kids talk all around him, no one talked to him. He walked to class quietly and sat alone at lunch. When the bell rang at the end of the day, he realized that he hasn't talked to a single person the entire day. When he walked in his house, his mom and dad asked, "Hey, how was your day?" He said, "Fine." But deep down, he wasn't fine. He wished he had the confidence to walk up to someone new and have that conversation. Someone that he could tell stories about when his mom or dad asks. He spends the rest of the day playing video games. Unfortunately, this isn't just happening to Johnny, but to kids everywhere. The good news is, I'm making it my mission to help kids and teens realize that having a face-to-face conversation is a skill that can be learned, it can be mastered. I say, let's make talking cool. Think about all the things you could do with your voice. You could problem solve, make strong friendships, advocate for yourself, motivate others, and make people feel better with your words. I know a lot about Johnny and kids just like him because for the past few years, I've been teaching communication skills through one-on-one sessions, group workshops, and school assemblies. I started my company at 19, and now at 21, my message resonates as I am young, relatable, relevant, and I think I'm cool. I've witnessed firsthand how technology, social media, gaming, and even COVID have increased the social isolation among teens. People think because of all these things we are more connected, but we are not. I recently observed a group of 100 teens walk into a room for an event. 90% of them pulled out their phone to avoid talking to others. We all do it, not just teens. The decline in face-to-face conversation should concern all of us. For some young people, the ability to talk to others comes as natural as breathing. For others, talking appears as a source of frustration. In my experience, young people that lack social skills are vulnerable to loneliness, low confidence, and bullying. Instead of just saying this is how it is, or this is who he or she is, it's not a character trait. In fact, we need to put the ability to have a conversation on par with any other skill that a young person needs to master. We can't expect kids to know how to communicate without learning how to do it in practice. I believe that talking is an art and can be learned. The art of face-to-face communication is simply learning how to start, expand, and end a conversation. The reality is, many teens do not know how to approach a peer, or they have a fear of judgment on how their peers will react. They don't know how to start a conversation. If I walked on a stage like this, what would you all be thinking? You would immediately start thinking, I don't want to be here, and that I am not confident. Understanding the importance of first impressions and body language tells that person a lot about you, and it matters. Did you know that it takes 7 seconds to make a first impression? How you present yourself without words is as important as what comes out of your mouth. If you're walking with your head down and your eyes buried in your phone, what are you telling that person? You are telling that person, I am not approachable. Keep walking by me. When you start a conversation and first walk up to someone, introduce yourself and ask their name. Then, ask an open-ended question. For example, did you do anything fun this summer? Is a closed-ended question. They can only answer yes or no, and then it could become awkward. A better question would be, what is something fun you did this summer? They could answer with more details. This leads into expanding the conversation. And there are 4 key factors. 1, be interested with active listening. 2, be yourself. 3, ask follow-up questions. And 4, add interesting details. If you were to ask someone, what is something fun you did this summer? They might answer, I went to this huge water park and went down this intense slide and ended up falling off the tube. When they're sharing their story, be interested. Look at them and really listen. And then ask a follow-up question. This is a great opportunity to find something in common and build that connection. Lastly is ending a conversation. You don't want the person to feel like you aren't interested, but you're also the one who initiated it. So it's okay to end the conversation. One tip for this is to say, it was great meeting you, and I hope to see you around here again. Or connect something that you learned, like have fun next week in Florida. It's very simple, but makes them feel good that you were listening. When I was younger, my mom taught me a great way to practice face-to-face communication. She always made me order my own food at a restaurant. Seems simple, right? There are a lot of similarities with learning how to start, expand, and end a conversation. I use this activity when working with elementary school kids. One student is the waiter or waitress. They have to learn how to greet and approach someone, be an active listener, make eye contact, and ask clarifying questions. For the student who is the customer, they have to be clear in their order and make modifications to their meal, which helps them learn how to advocate for themselves. For older kids, I do an activity called speed connecting. This gives them an opportunity to apply what I'm teaching in practice by talking to new people for 2 minutes, and then we rotate. This isn't just about starting, expanding, and ending a conversation. It's also about listening, emphasizing, and engaging. Students love this activity and say it really made a difference in their everyday interactions, both inside and outside of school. All of these are strategies for practicing the art of conversation. The key word is practice. Let me ask you, would you ever go play on a football team if you've never played the sport and don't know the plays? No. This is the same concept when it comes to face-to-face communication. The football players practice every single day. You must practice face-to-face conversation in order to build your confidence. Remember Johnny who didn't talk to a single person at school? He felt that something was wrong with him, and he felt that he had no worth, and because of this, was feeling stuck. I worked on social skills with him, specifically how to start, expand, and end a conversation. I'll never forget. He called me on a Monday night and said, I did it. I thought to myself, okay, I know we worked on a lot, but what exactly did you do? Here's what he said about his school day. When I walked into school, no one looked at me. No one talked to me. But then I realized my head was down, and I was looking at my phone. I've remembered to walk with my head up and make eye contact with a few kids. When I went to my locker, no one said hi to me. But then I realized I didn't say hi to anyone either. When I was going to class, I decided to walk up to someone I kind of knew and asked him, hey, what did you think about the science test? He answered, and we walked to class together talking the whole time. At lunchtime, instead of going to sit at a table where no one else is sitting, I decided to ask a group of kids if I could sit with them. They said yes. I was shocked. I felt different when I got in the bus. And when I walked to my house, my mom and dad asked how my day was. I said great, and I meant it. All of his practicing on how to have a conversation paid off. He had the confidence to stand up and stand out. He went from not talking to a single person to eventually being a part of the Key Club and building a tribe of like-minded people. I encourage and challenge kids and teens to understand that talking face-to-face with people is important. If you were to have these skills, imagine what your life could look like. More friends, more opportunities, and more influence. Investing in yourself is cool. Investing in mastering and building your communication skills is super cool. Investing in communicating with the intent to connect with someone, well, there's nothing cooler than that. Thank you.